What's up, everybody? This is the Booch, and welcome to the latest installment of the WWE 2K25 Showcase Journey. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most classic tag team matches of all time. And of course, it's from the modern era, so it's kind of weird for me to say one of the most classic, but it comes from one of the biggest tag team rivalries of the modern era. And that is, of course, the Usos and the New Day. Because this really put tag team wrestling back on the map in the modern era. Because the Usos, for a while, were wearing the face paint and doing the Samoan gimmick, kind of similar to the Wild Samoans and the Islanders and the Head Shrinkers. But then they started becoming the Usos we know them now, the Day Ones, and being a lot more street and hip-hop with their gimmick and being able to have great personality and feed off each other, and they did very well as heels and baby faces with this new gimmick. And of course, the New Day, they had kind of been seen as like a clown show for a while, even when they were heels. So this allowed the New Day to bring out a more aggressive and serious side to them that we didn't really know existed, and allowed us to take this rivalry seriously. Because one thing I talked about, especially when I was reviewing the Danhausen, Minihausen, Miz, Kit Wilson tag match on the male soap opera moment, was I said that comedy wrestling, like regular wrestling, can be done right or wrong. But here's the thing about having a comedy gimmick. At some point in time, for the fans to get emotionally invested in the comedy gimmick in the ring, not backstage, not when you're doing comedic stuff back there. I'm talking about inside the ring for a wrestling match. At some point, there has to come a time where the comedy gimmick gets shut down, even for a brief moment, to bring out that serious side and go, okay, playtime's over. I gotta whoop some ass. And then you can get taken more seriously even when you're doing the comedic stuff, because they know there's that badass side to you. It's like a person who can't shut the comedy off. It's like a comedian, I always say, when a comedian can't shut it off and is on all the time, at some point, it's going to irritate you. If you can't get something serious out of them at least one time, at least briefly. Okay, there has to come a point where the joke is over. And in this rivalry, when it came to the New Day, the joke was over. Because they realized this is serious and we got to take care of this before we can go back to pancakes and cereal and bootios. So let's take a look at this serious rivalry in this latest edition of the WWE 2K25 Showcase Journey.
Any member of this family that enters the professional wrestling business knows about the expectations that are going to be on their back. They know about the prestige that their very name carries. They know that those who came before them have accomplished so much. Bearing the weight of those legacies can prove to be way too much for almost anyone. But that was never the case for Jimmy and Jey Uso. Jimmy and Jey Uso look to be stars from the very start, constantly evolving their look, style, and offense as they progressed in their careers. Face paint and war dances would fade away, and the two would embrace the day one-ish mentality, looking to punish opponents and send them to the Uso penitentiary. The Usos are 8-time WWE Tag Team Champions. The Usos have main evented WrestleMania after initially fighting for a mere spot on the card. The Usos were the premier team of the 2010s. The Usos are the greatest team of all time. Jimmy and Jey are poetry in motion, each knowing what the other is looking to do next, each using every bit of savvy they gained growing up in professional wrestling to keep their edge. And sure, in recent years, it's been difficult between the two. Jimmy did cost Jey his match at SummerSlam against your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. After months of the anger building between the two, Jimmy and Jay ended up as the first two entrants in the 2024 Royal Rumble match, bringing things to a head. But even that moment wasn't enough to settle the issue, and so they would fight again at WrestleMania 40. Jey Uso truly became main event and found his inner yeet, even adding another tag team championship with Cody Rhodes as his partner. As your wise man eventually would suffer as well, Jimmy found himself betrayed by Solo Sikoa and unceremoniously dumped out of Solo's version of the Bloodline. When Jimmy and Jay are a tag team, they are pure art. They are the reason for the resurgence of tag team wrestling's popularity over the last 15 years. And perhaps, oh, perhaps, their grandest moment came during the 2017 Hell in a Cell, when they would lock horns with perhaps their greatest opposition ever, The New Day. From July to October of that year, the Smackdown Tag Team Titles would change hands 4 times between the two teams, both looking for ultimate bragging rights. The Usos' connection as twins always gave them an upper hand with most teams. But the New Day had their own trick, utilizing the Freebird rule to allow any 2 of the 3 members to compete in any match. Jimmy and Jay could never know for sure who the opponents would be, with a different game plan needed for each iteration. With nothing clearly settled after 4 months, the New Day would offer to defend inside Hell in a Cell, and the Usos gladly accepted. We've seen the Usos showcase tag team wrestling at its most beautiful. Now we want you to showcase the brutality that exists within Hell in a Cell. Big E and Xavier Woods are going to use everything at their disposal to take you down. But you've been down since day 1. Now it's time to force the New Day to realize there's nothing wrong with them being in second place, and there's nothing that's stopping you inside Hell in a Cell.
Remember, this match is under Tornado Tag Team rules, a 2-on-2 match.
Okay, so you've shown up, now show out. An opponent taunt towards the New Day in the next 20 seconds might throw them off their game.
So the pinfall submission has to happen inside the ring. In the Hell in a Cell, no tags, no countouts, no disqualification.
The Usos and the New Day came into this match expecting and prepared to raise the bar, raise the level of competition, and make history. This is going to be unforgettable.
Okay. Alright, let's restart that real quick.
Remember, this match is under Tornado Tag Team rules, a 2-on-2 match where the pinfall submission has to happen inside the ring. In the Hell in a Cell, no tags, no countouts, no disqualification.
The Usos and the New Day came into this match expecting and prepared to raise the bar, raise the level of competition, and make history. This is going to be unforgettable.
Okay, let's try it again.
Remember, this match is under Tornado Tag Team rules, a 2-on-2 match where the pinfall submission has to happen inside the ring. In the Hell in a Cell, no tags, no countouts, no disqualification.
The Usos and the New Day came into this match expecting and prepared to raise the bar, raise the level of competition, and make history. This is going to be unforgettable.
A back suplex. So many amazing matches between these two teams. They said it this past week on SmackDown. No matter where we are, we put on a show.
The Usos and New Day have a unified goal to raise the bar of tag team competition, to bring the division to a whole nother level. You know, in basketball, they talk about super teams. Well, these two teams are the proverbial super teams in WWE.
And the action is shifting now into that dangerous area between the ring and the walls of the cell. Headed back into the ring.
Oh, I love this, guys. Couple punches, little Monty Fisto action. Get down. Bam! Bring it home. Ooh.
And Big E falls to a counter. Do they refer to this as their power lineup when having Big E involved in there with
Okay, guess I'm gonna have to wear them down before I start going after any objectives here.
Woods has that blend of speed and power, making him the most well-rounded superstar for New Day. What's interesting, though, is this is the lineup that lost to the Usos at SummerSlam. The New Day not choosing Big E and Kofi to beat the Usos a few weeks ago could prove to be costly.
Corey, for as entertaining as the New Day are, they can scrap with the best of them. Remember that.
Look, don't let the bootios and trombones fool you. New Day can get down and dirty, especially when they have the Usos pushing them. New Day are prepared for an all-out brawl tonight.
And he's pulled the ring apron up, looking under there for something.
Clearly thinking a steel chair is what's needed right about now.
All the talking we've heard leading into this match, we've heard the Usos call the New Day, quote, three clowns on a tricycle.
Look, the Usos love the trash talk, but they deliver. And don't act like the New Day don't throw verbal jabs either. We had Big E earlier saying how he's going to drop some gloom.
What the fuck?
Biblical proportions. A prophecy Big E is fully capable of backing to. Flapjack. Gosh, landing face first. He's heading back to the ring. Nice amateur takedown. All the way over. But this opponent still fighting back. Whoa, that was a stiff chair shot to the dome.
Corey, a few weeks ago, we saw the New Day walk out of Smackdown as champs in a street fight. The match the Usos handpicked, but this environment is totally different.
There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I think the New Day played right into the Usos' hand when they selected this match. Jimmy and Jay have a street mentality. They're perfectly equipped to turn Hell in a Cell into the Uso penitentiary. That's a free fall.
He gets back into the ring. Chop. He's looking banged up here, guys. Oh!
Heavy body shots. Guitar. Oh, man. I have a feeling the Usos' objective is to send the New Day to the...
Let me see here. Surprise either member of the New Day with your signature super kick.
hospital.
Store
Two
signature.
teams so familiar with each other. Some innovation with weapons almost top row.
Using the elbow as a weapon. Follows up. Shoulders down. Two. And the Usos are 5-time tag team champions. Here are your winners, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. Hell in a Cell just became the Uso penitentiary.
It was barbaric. It was volatile. It lived up to the hype is what it did. The two greatest tag teams in the entire industry, raising the bar of competition inside the demonic structure.
Let's see. Throwing a chair as Jimmy hit Big E with a front heavy attack in the ring. Taking the New Day, continue the Uso assault. They want the Uso penetration, show what it's like. 5 more attacks from any weapon. As Jey Uso bring the fight to Big E when you're both in the ring. You know what? I'm just going to skip these two. That's it. I'm just going to get through the showcase mode. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take the loss and move on. Yep, because at this point, that was all I could do. Take it and move on. Now, obviously, when I say take the loss, I was referring to not unlocking the objectives, not losing the match. Because obviously, I won the match, but I did not win all the unlockables. And as long as you win the match, you can move on to the next one. So that was all that mattered to me. Win the match and move on. Because I'm not going to deal with all the bullshit and drama. Like I said last week, eventually I'm going to have WWE 2K26 in my possession. 2K27's coming around the pike. So I don't really need to worry about unlocking everything in 2K25. If I do, great. If I don't, whatever. As long as I can win the match, that's all that matters at this point. Because all I care about now is winning the match, getting the videos done, and getting them out to you. And of course, I have a new video coming out to you guys tomorrow, so make sure you guys follow us on all of our podcast platforms. The links will be down in the description box below. Follow us on our social media platforms. Those links will be in the description box below. And of course, as always, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified so you never miss another episode of the WWE 2K25 Showcase Journey, as well as other additional Boochcast YouTube content. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Until then, pizza, baby.